Secrets, codes, and hidden histories. Hi, I'm here to tell you stories that changed the world but should have stayed secret. Like, what if I told you Cleopatra, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, spoke 7 languages? Would you believe me? If you're thinking, how is that even possible? Because back then there were only a handful of major languages in the world, you'd be correct. But don't worry, I'm not gonna test your knowledge like that. Instead, I'll give you some time to think about something else. Now imagine a secret team of codebreakers working in silence, while the fate of the world hung in the balance. Their leader, a brilliant mathematician, was driven by a relentless curiosity and a desire to uncover the hidden patterns that govern the universe. With each passing day, they inched closer to a breakthrough that would change everything. But their work was shrouded in secrecy, unknown to the world until decades later. It wasn't until much later that people realized just how close they had come to losing it all. When most people think of World War II, images of soldiers, weapons, and battle tactics come to mind. However, behind the scenes, a silent battle was raging. A battle of wits between the Axis powers and the Allied forces, fought not with guns and ammunition, but with codes and ciphers. This secret warfare was one of the most important aspects of the war, and it was largely won by the British. And at the heart of this effort were men like Alan Turing. He was a genius mathematician who cracked the seemingly unbreakable German Enigma code. His efforts not only helped the Allies win the war, but also laid the foundation for modern computing. But why is he not a household name? Turing's story is a fascinating one, and it is a reminder that sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones who operate in the shadows. You see, during World War II, Germany used a machine called Enigma to encrypt their military communications. The machine was incredibly advanced for its time and could generate billions of possible encryption keys, making it virtually impossible to crack. The Germans believed that their messages were safe from Allied intelligence, but they were wrong. In 1932, a Polish mathematician named Marian Rejewski managed to break the Enigma code with the help of a Polish cryptologist named Henryk Zagalski and a team of mathematicians and engineers. They built a machine that could decrypt Enigma's transmissions, and it worked. By the time World War II broke out, the Polish government had shared their discovery with the British and French authorities. But when France fell in 1940, the British found themselves alone with the responsibility of defeating the Germans. So in 1940, they set up a secret facility called Bletchley Park, where they recruited some of the brightest minds in the country, including Alan Turing. By the time Turing arrived at Bletchley Park, the Poles had already made significant progress in breaking the Enigma code. They had developed a machine called the Bomba, which was capable of testing thousands of Enigma settings in hours, a task that would have taken the human mind years to complete. Turing recognized the potential of this machine and set to work improving it. In 1938, he designed a new version of the Bomba, which was faster and more efficient than its predecessor. He and his team continued to refine the machine over the next few years, eventually creating a sophisticated device that could test every possible Enigma setting. In less than a minute, once the bomb machine was up and running, the British had access to a wealth of encrypted German communications. They were able to intercept and decode messages containing sensitive military information, such as troop movements and battle plans. This gave the Allies a significant advantage over the Germans, helping them to win key battles and ultimately shortening the war by 2 years. It's estimated that Turing's work at Bletchley Park saved the lives of millions of people. The impact of his work was so significant that it has been compared to the invention of the atomic bomb. In fact, Winston Churchill once said, "If the Germans had known what we now know about the breaking of their codes, the outcome of the war could have been very different." However, despite the immense contribution that he made to winning the war, Turing's story didn't end happily ever after. When World War II came to an end, the British government was eager to keep secret the fact that they had been able to read German communications. So they did everything they could to cover up the work that had been done at Bletchley Park. The people who had worked there, including Turing, were sworn to secrecy and forbidden from talking about their experiences. As a result, Turing's contributions to the war effort remained classified for decades. It wasn't until the 1970s that the British government declassified documents relating to Bletchley Park and Turing's work, and the world finally learned about the extent of his genius. Even then, Turing himself didn't live to see the recognition that was ultimately his due. In 1954, he died at the age of 41 after having been convicted of gross indecency for engaging in a relationship with a man. Despite his conviction, Turing's work continued to inspire generations of computer scientists. Many believe that his persecution was a grave injustice, and they've been campaigning for years to clear his name. In 2013, the British government apologized for his treatment and granted him a royal pardon. So why should you care about Alan Turing and his work? Why is it important to remember him and others like him? First and foremost, it is important to remember those who have contributed to our world, because it is easy to forget that the world we live in today is the result of the hard work and sacrifice of countless individuals. Oftentimes, these individuals go unrecognized for their contributions. It's easy to take for granted the freedoms and conveniences we enjoy today, but it is important to remember that they were hard-won and that we should be grateful for them. Secondly, remembering Turing and others like him can inspire us to be better people. He was a brilliant mathematician and computer scientist who made significant contributions to our understanding of the world. He was also a gay man who faced persecution and discrimination, yet he never gave up on his work or his fight for equality. His story is a powerful reminder that we should never give up in the face of adversity, and that we should always strive to make the world a better place. Finally, remembering Turing and others like him is simply the right thing to do. It is easy to let the achievements of those in power overshadow the contributions of those who are marginalized or persecuted. However, we should strive to recognize the contributions of all people, regardless of their background or beliefs. Remembering Turing and others like him is a step towards creating a more inclusive and tolerant society. Imagine a world without computers or the internet. Now imagine a world where information traveled at the speed of light, where communication was instant, and where knowledge was readily available to all. Today's digital age has become an integral part of our lives. It's revolutionized the way we work, play, and interact with each other. But have you ever stopped to wonder how we got here? How did we go from clunky mechanical calculators to powerful smartphones that fit in the palm of our hand? Well, it's a story that goes back further than you might think. It's a story of innovation, determination, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. So sit back, relax, and get ready to explore the fascinating world of computers. You won't believe what secrets lie within. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe for more untold stories that shape our world. And if you want to know more about interesting historical events, stay tuned for more updates.